fastball. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. It will be the left-hander Jay Happ on the hill for the Toronto Blue Jays, and Ben Zobrist stepping in to lead it off. The first pitch is too low from Happ. Zobrist hitting .275. That's a strike. The count 1-1. While Cleveland and Texas were winning last night, the Blue Jays defeated the Rays here last night 6-3. Shot right back into center field, goes straight back. That's got some carry off the bottom of the wall for extra bases. A double for Zobrist. The remainder of the starting lineup brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Sean Rodriguez hits second in front of Will Myers, and then the cleanup hitter Evan Longoria, Delvin Young, Yunel Escobar, James Loney, Jose Molina, and Sam Fuld completing Joe Maddon's lineup.
You can see the season numbers here on Jay Happ as he makes his 18th start of the season, his 11th since coming off the disabled list. 4-7 record, ERA of 4.85, and in a little bit of trouble right now.
Sean Rodriguez making the start, hitting second, takes the pitch for a strike.
You know, the one thing that'll be interesting to watch today is Jay Happ and his command. You know, pitching coach Pete Walker has been working with Jay Happ to try to get his arm angle down just a little bit. He's always been more up over the top. Sometimes command can be elusive when you're up at that angle, so they've been working on getting him more three-quarters in order to be able to throw more consistent strikes.
That's another reason that he has made per inning more pitches than any other pitcher in the major leagues.
You know, that benchmark is right around 15. That's the goal. That's what you're shooting for. And Jay Happ is just a hair under 19 pitches an inning. And what that leads to is short outings, more stress on the bullpen.
Rodriguez tried to check, but he goes around on the appeal to the first base umpire Paul Schreiber.
You can see, you know, why Jay Happ. This is a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and Sean Rodriguez right there in his eagerness to drive in a run gets just a little bit too aggressive.
Rodriguez with 5 home runs, all against lefties. He's behind in the count, and that takes it to 2-2.
And you can see why a guy like Jay Happ, you could be excited about getting him, you know, better command, a lower arm angle. We've seen the fastball 92, 93, good depth on the curveball. He's a tall guy, so he comes at a nice angle. Some definite tools to work with there.
Rodriguez lifts it deep into right. Sierra back, still drifting at the track, makes the catch. Zobrist advances to third after the grab.
Sean Rodriguez able to get underneath a nice curveball there by Happ, and a productive out here. He stays right on it, underneath it, lifts that ball deep into right field, and even though it ends up being an out, you can see Sierra with that glare taking an interesting route back to the wall, but Ben Zobrist able to move up, get on third with less than 2 outs.
Here's Will Myers. Myers did not start last night against the knuckleball of R.A. Dickey, and that was primarily the reason. Joe Maddon did not want to expose him to the knuckleball. He's been swinging the bat pretty well. Nice stop there on the first pitch by Tolley. The rookie outfielder at .290 with 13 home runs.
What a difference he's made in the Rays lineup.
(2-0).
He's first or second in just about every major offensive category for the Rays since he was called up. And he just adds that extra dimension of the guy in the middle of the lineup that you really have to be careful to, because if you leave pitches out over the plate, he will hurt you in a big way. That every at-bat power threat.
Ahead in the count here. 2-0 changeup right there. Since his call-up on the 18th of June, he has led this club in runs batted in and slugging percentage, tied for first in extra base hits. 2-2.
Now a couple of nifty off-speed pitches here by Jay Happ. Falling behind Will Myers, comes back, changeup right there, a nice slider down and in to get him to swing over the top of it. And now that he's gotten to 2 strikes, this is where you go for the strikeout. Runner on third, less than 2. You want to prevent Will Myers from putting this ball in play.
Ground ball to third, and it skips past Laurie into left. That scores Zobrist. The ball hit sharply, and that's a trademark of Will Myers, to hit the ball hard.
That's a lot of what we saw when he first came to the big leagues. He would hit ground balls in the hole where you would see infielders not even be able to get out of their stance. And this right here, unfortunate for the Blue Jays, his curveball hangs a little bit. Myers hits it hard, but if Laurie's able to make this play, he's got Ben Zobrist dead at the plate. No doubt about it, he'd be able to get him, but that ball just ate him up, got into the outfield, and the Rays take the early lead.
Evan Longoria hitting out of the cleanup position. First pitch is a strike. So the Rays break out in front, as they did last night when Zobrist hit a first inning home run. Today Zobrist doubles and is driven in by Will Myers. 0-2 the count on Longoria.
Well, and the Rays are a team that Jay Happ has had some struggles against. 4 starts against the Rays. He's 1-1, an ERA of 8.44. So, you know, with numbers like that, he's looking to get back to his form from 2 starts ago, where he pitched very well against the New York Yankees. But this Rays lineup has a lot of confidence going up against him.
Myers back in at first. Zobrist doubled off the bottom of the center field wall. Rodriguez hit a fly ball to deep right field, caught by Sierra, and Myers scorched one past Laurie. And a big cut right there on a fastball, and Longoria is out on strikes.
Let's take a quick peek at this Blue Jay defense as it lines up this afternoon. In the outfield, left to right, Kevin Pillar, Anthony Gose, and Moises Sierra. Across the infield, third to first, Brett Laurie, Jose Reyes, Ryan Goins, Ryan Langerhans at first base, and Josh Tolle will be behind the plate.
There's Delman Young, the designated hitter. He's been an interesting addition for the Rays, and recently has swung the bat extremely well and has been in there not only against left-handed pitching as he is today, but against right-handers as well. Out to second. Goins will make the throw to first. Tampa Bay with a run in the first. Toronto coming into bat. to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. For Toronto, Jose Reyes leads off, then Brett Laurie and Adam Lind in there at DH. Moises Sierra, the cleanup hitter. Anthony Gose, then Ryan Goins. Ryan Langerhans. Josh Tolley will catch. He'll hit 8th, and Kevin Pillar in left field bats 9th.
Well, taking the mound this afternoon for the Tampa Bay Rays, right-hander Chris Archer. Here is the key: 18 outs, 6 innings. When Chris Archer goes 6 innings, the Rays are 12-1. When he does not, record not so good. So that is the benchmark. If he gets to 6, it's usually a good day for the Rays.
And he is in uncharted waters, pitching this deep into September. 9-7 on the year, and he faces Jose Reyes. Reyes starts the day hitting .295. And the first pitch is a fastball for a strike.
And Dwayne, when you talk about uncharted waters, it's not always about the innings pitched. It's about the extra month of the season. You know, the minor league season is 5 months long. Big league, obviously, you're going that extra month.
Little toss to first by Archer on the comebacker, 1 gone.
And so your innings pitch could be similar, maybe a few more, but it's that extra month of wear and tear that the young guys typically aren't, prepared for, and that's where they've really got to take care of themselves.
And I would think, BA, the thing to look for in Archer, not velocity, he still shows that.
Yes.
But he has given up a few more walks and has missed his spots a little bit more.
It is. It's command, and that's one of the first things that go when a pitcher starts to be fatigued, whether it's during a season or the course of a ball game. Finish on your pitches and command are the first 2 things to go. You're right. Velocity's still there. Got to put in good spots.
Shot right back over the top of Archer's head into center, and Brett Laurie, who was hit by a pitch and sustained a bloodied lip in the 7th inning last night, comes out and hits a laser through the middle of the infield.
Yeah, he's not going to wait around here on Archer, and Archer left that fastball about belt high, middle outer third of the plate. And Brett Laurie still steaming from getting hit in the face last night. In fact, the second pitch after getting hit, he stole second base. You can see the lips a little bit fat there on the left side, his left side.
Blue Jays have a base runner, and here's Adam Lind returning to the lineup. He's been out with some back issues. He takes a strike.
In the month of September, Adam Lind has been swinging the bat very well, as a number of these Blue Jays have been. This is another thing. After that stolen base last night by Laurie, teams against Chris Archer, 16 out of 18. And they look to get something going here.
Lind fouling a fastball back. Velocity on that at 96 to underscore the point about how hard Archer continues to throw.
This is the other thing, too. You better believe that Chris Archer's not going to leave. This could be potentially his last start of the season. He's not going to leave anything, in the bag of tricks. He's going to let it all hang out. And this is also a kid who, in his last, 5 starts, he's not gotten out of the 5th inning 3 times.
Hard stuff again, fouled away by Adam Lind. Still 2 strikes.
You find yourself in these kind of starts where, to Chris Archer and to the Rays, really, this feels like a playoff game. And so it's max effort on every pitch that you throw. Could be tired tomorrow and the next day. Today, empty the tank.
Rays have been caught by the Cleveland Indians in the wild card race for the top spot. Texas looming a game back. Another foul ball by Lind. You mentioned those 5 games, the 5 starts for Archer. There's a wild card breakout right now. Archer's ERA overall 3.21. It was under 3 for the longest, but in those 5 starts it's close to 4.9. So it's inched its way up over 3 for the year.
Well, Chris Archer, we've seen the fastball anywhere from 95 to 98 so far today. He's got a very good slider. Gets a lot of depth on it. He throws that pitch very hard, and he's got an emerging changeup that really, I think the Rays would like to see him use just a little bit more. I think that was a pattern that he got into in his last start against the Orioles, and as that game went on, it cost him. Too predictable.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
There's that slider, and he's trying to backdoor it. He's throwing it 88 miles an hour with the depth of a curveball. This is a filthy pitch here by Chris Archer. You see the depth on it, just stays off the plate.
And there are times when he can use that slider down and in, even to a left-handed hitter. It's got such great depth. A little piece of one foul right there.
That's where he likes to go for his strikeouts. There's one right here, meant to be away. Chris Archer going right down on the backside. You know, that he gave up a home run on one of those sliders down and into Brian Roberts. And you hope that doesn't cause him to shy away from that pitch. You know, that down and into a lefty, that's a danger spot, but his slider, if he gets it where he wants it, they're not going to be able to hurt him.
Takes another shot with it. 2-2.
And the only reason that you bring that up is you don't see Chris Archer throw this many backdoor sliders. You know, unless this is the game plan against Adam Lynn, most of them he's going to yank down and in, try to get you to swing over the top of it. He's now thrown 3 in this sequence to the back door.
And he gets a strike right there. He stayed away.
And it was meant to be in. That you saw Jose Molina slide in. And right here, Adam Lynn, that ball out over the plate, could not hold up, started to commit. Well, that's where you take that strikeout and say thank you very much. Didn't execute the pitch like he wanted, but still picks up the out.
Jose Sierra, the right fielder, with a runner at first and 2 gone. Hard stuff inside off the plate. And a strike.
This is an interesting player here for manager John Gibbons, getting a chance to play right field every day with Jose Bautista being shut down for the season. And he's put up tremendous numbers in the month of September.
And the last couple years in the minor leagues starting to show some of the power that they thought when they signed him that he would one day have.
Let's take a quick peek at the Rays defense as it lines up this afternoon in the outfield left to right. Sean Rodriguez, Sam Fold, and Will Myers across the infield third to first. Evan Longoria, Yunel Escobar, Ben Zobrist, and James Loney. Jose Molina will handle the catching duties.
Close there on a fastball. So the count evens at 2-2.
1-2, you're trying to crowd Sierra. He, of course, talking about that power. He wants to get those arms extended and drive the baseball. 2 strikes, probably looking for something middle away.
Archer inside again. Now the count is full.
Well, now this is where Chris Archer goes to the slider down and away and hopefully gets Sierra. Get a little bit out in front. Swing over the top of it, especially after having 2 fastballs crowd him in at the hands.
Ground ball, that's going to go through into left. Laurie aggressively headed to third. The throw close, safe.
This is a case of right idea, wrong execution. The slider down and away, or the slider away, not a bad pitch. But this ball ends up elevated, makes it easy for Sierra to hammer this ball out into left field. Brett Laurie, of course, going on the delivery, and Sean Rodriguez a strong throw, and Laurie able to get that foot underneath the tag of Longoria. That was a good call.
Well, we've seen velocity from Archer. Command yet to come.
Still ironing out. This is where, you know, listen, he's going to be amped up for this start. Young, start of this magnitude, first time in his career. And so he's able to get out of this first inning unscathed. And you look to settle down and look for better command as the game goes on, but he's going to have to find it right now.
And there's where a veteran catcher like Molina can really help out a situation.
Reassurance, all the experience that he brings, calming effect.
Anthony Ghost, the center fielder. First pitch is down. So both these starting pitchers in the first inning running a bit of a high count in terms of pitches made. Archer's behind Ghost 2-0. This next pitch will be the 20th pitch of the inning for Archer. He averages around 16. Two and one. Rays got a run in the first. The Blue Jays threatened in the bottom of the inning. Foul will square the count. Fastball up at 96.
I think that's why, you know, ultimately as Chris Archer settles into this game, you'd like to see some change-up sprinkled in, because right now everything's hard. 88, 89 on the slider, 95, 96, 97 on the fastball.
A change-up anywhere from 82 to 85, just a different speed and a different look, going in an opposite direction. Ground ball to third. Longoria takes it to Zobrist for the force, and the Blue Jays strand two. We're at the end of an inning, 1-0 Tampa Bay. Ford. Only Ford gives you EcoBoost, fuel economy, and a whole lot more. And by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. The roof open at Rogers Center in Toronto. 1-0. Rays leading the Blue Jays. And you know, Escobar back in the starting lineup for the Rays. Leads it off and fouls the first pitch from Jay Happ. Strike one. Escobar left Tuesday's game with a tender left ankle. Will be followed by James Loney and Jose Molina. Escobar out in front.
Slow curveball there by Jay Happ. Good depth on that pitch. You can see Escobar a little bit out in front of that pitch. And that's where Happ, he'll attack you with that fastball, both sides of the plate. Slider, hard slider, good curveball.
2-2. Rays got to Happ for the double from Zobrist. Eventually an RBI single by Will Myers in the first. Interesting, the adjustment from over the top to closer to 3/4 by Happ. How difficult would that be to make?
Not as difficult as you would think. However, it's late in the season. It's later in your career. I mean, he's probably been throwing over the top for who knows how long, and then to go down to that 3/4 in just a little bit. And in talking to John Gibbons yesterday and talking to Pat Tabler, the analyst for the Blue Jays, they said, listen, it's just a small movement. And Jay Happ has said, he's like, I feel like I'm throwing sidearm. And we can obviously see it's nowhere near that, but just that little movement, that just a little bit out there, feels completely different to a pitcher. And that's why there's going to be so much work that goes into this in his bullpen, off-season stuff, going into spring training next year. But they really feel like that will help him with his command and even the angle on his pitches.
Liner into center. Ghost is right there. One gone.
Well, let's take a look at our Ford Go Further keys to the game for the Rays. Short-term memory loss. That's exactly what it was last night, a loss, and you got to forget about it. It was a sloppy game played by the Rays. 3 errors led to 300 runs, which actually turned out to be the difference in the game as they lost 6-3. Got to put that behind you with a quick turnaround, come ready to play. They've done that, and for the Blue Jays, it's finished strong. A ton of injuries on this team all year long. A lot of youngsters getting an opportunity here to impress that man, John Gibbons, and management. Try to finish strong, leave a good impression.
James Loney takes the first pitch upstairs. Loney hitting .301 for the year. Way high. Interesting matchup here in that Loney against left-handed pitching hitting .306. And the splits on Happ are reversed. Lefties hitting .309 off him, and right-handed hitters just .232.
Well, you know what? When you look at his breakout of pitches against lefties, he's got a good changeup. We haven't seen much of it today. A couple of them. Good changeup against lefties.
It's a mile-high infield pop, and it's going to drop. Happ got out of there and left it to the infield, as he should do. That ball was about as high as any that we've ever seen here.
Well, and you've got a very clear day, a high sky, they say. There's no perspective. You don't have any perspective on this ball. You can't play it off of a cloud. And you've got guys coming in. Nobody really takes charge. And if anything, that ball should be in the hands of the shortstop, third baseman. You're thinking about Laurie or Reyes making that play, not Goins coming all the way across the mound. He was the guy that gave the most effort towards it, never got there. That is just inexcusable, an infield double like that.
Loney at second. Now here's Molina. Upstairs, Goins who was back at second, had to come all the way in, traverse the mound, and try to find the ball at the same time.
That's right. That's a ball meant for the left side of the infield. Yes, it was a mile high. You can't blame a pitcher going forward from trying to call off the infield, saying, listen, that's my double.
Strike to Molina.
Let's see if the Rays can capitalize. That's the key. You get a gift double like that.
An infield pop-up double. This one off the mitt of Tolley, and Loney advances to third. So the Rays get a gift right here.
Yeah, some sloppy baseball here by the Blue Jays. First the pop-up, and then the fastball up in the zone off Tolley's glove. I mean, that was just off the mask. Got to catch that.
Now the infield comes up. 2-1 the count. Infield double. Pass ball. Molina takes ball 3. He's ahead in the count. Runs the count all the way to 3-2. A big opportunity for the Rays to cash in. A scoring opportunity handed to them. Molina getting time granted by Chad Fairchild. And strike 3 call. Big strikeout for Jay Happ. Now it's time for a Pepsi game break.
Dwayne, thanks. It's Greg Amsinger here. A must-win situation in Arlington for the Rangers with Elvis Andrus at third. This is a wild pitch. Andrus scores the 5th run of the game for the Rangers. The Angels have committed 4 errors in this game. Rangers up by 2, top of the 5th. Dwayne, Ryan, back to you in Toronto.
Greg, thank you very much. Rays committing 3 errors in the game last night. Wild card. There it is. Cleveland and the Rays at the top. Texas 1 back.
It tightened up last night with Cleveland and Texas winning. Tampa Bay dropping their game here at Rogers Center.
Cole lifts it to the left side. Laurie into foul territory, and he makes the catch back to the infield over the shoulder. And the Rays miss an opportunity. They'll leave Loney at third. Here's the catch by the Blue Jays third baseman. 1-0 Tampa Bay. by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. A lengthy first inning for the young right-hander Chris Archer, who just turned 25 last Thursday. He made 22 pitches, but did not allow a run, leaving a couple men on base, and he'll face Ryan Goins, the second baseman, to lead off the bottom of the second. And a long one deep to right, down the line, and foul. Goins jumped on that first pitch. He has one home run in the 32 games he's played for the Blue Jays, and had home run distance on that one.
I tell you what, when we spoke with John Gibbons, this is one of the guys that he said really has stood out to him. Second base has been a problem area for the Blue Jays all year, but he said that he has really locked it down smooth. We've seen some big swings from him.
Well, there's a big one, and he misses 0-2. He was the MVP of their AAA affiliate in Buffalo. A young man out of Houston Baptist, or Dallas Baptist, same school that Ben Zobrist attended.
You get some tremendous baseball players out of that school. One of the better, smaller schools you can go to play ball.
They even went after Brian Anderson at one time.
Made a huge mistake.
A ball, 2 strikes on the Toronto second baseman. Now 2-2.
It's the great thing about this game, though. It doesn't matter how small the school is that you go to. If you go to college, you go to the JUCO route, Division II. You have skills and talent. Scouts will find you.
Ground ball. Glove by Zobrist, and the throw to first. They get him. So Zobrist throws out Goins. We'll talk about that at the alumni dinner. Nice play by Zobrist.
Boy, that ball had right field written all over it. Watch Ben Zobrist ranging to his left, getting an angle on it. Now he's got to come up and throw. What a play.
Great effort by Zobrist.
And you can see Chris Archer, much appreciated in the background.
Yeah, Archer's still trying to settle in. He'd like to limit his pitch count and allow himself to pitch as deep into this game as he can. Ryan Langerhans takes the ball.
And at the same time, don't try to save anything. Don't try to hold anything back. You know, Joe Madden, and we've seen that, the number of the starters, not clicking, things not going well right off the bat. Empty the tank. We said it earlier, because Joe Madden's got a very deep and a quality bullpen. And he is not afraid to go to it early. And these guys, he plays the matchups better than just about anybody.
Well, he's made 45 pitching changes over the last 10 games.
How about that?
So he's taken full advantage of the expanded roster.
And in those 10 games, the bullpen is 4-0 with an ERA of under 1.5 at 1.40. So he's done the matchups quite well.
Molina chatting with Archer, who has fallen behind Langerhans, 3-0.
Still trying to calm the young right-hander down.
Jim Hickey, the Rays pitching coach, immediately behind Joe Madden. And ball 4.
When it comes to command with pitching coach Jim Hickey, it's a 3-part fix. First of all, you're counting on the pitcher out on the mound to be a good self-coach and figure it out. You know, you got your keys to your delivery. You try to figure it out yourself. When you're not able to do that, you have the veteran catcher Jose Molina that picks up on something. He goes out, tries to help you. If that doesn't work, that's when you're going to see Jim Hickey pop out and head to the mound.
Here's Josh Tolle. The catcher takes a fastball, and that's a strike. One and one. That will give Archer the advantage in the count up on Tolley. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 on, 1 out. Bottom of the 2nd inning. Tampa Bay with a run in the 1st. Blue Jays threatened in their 1st, leaving 2. Out of play, and the count holds. With this wild card chase right now, with 2 days left, there's still 27 possible combinations of Rays, Indians, Rangers, wins, losses for today and tomorrow, all affecting the way this thing will work its way out.
And as this game moves along, we're going to go through each and every one for you, just to keep you riveted.
There's a big graph being drawn up as we speak.
Got a pointer. I'm going to go to work.
90 and 70. The Rays, the Indians, 90 and 70. The Rangers, 89 and 71. And Tolley's out on strikes. That had some bite to it. Let's go to the MLB Network studios for a game break.
Dwayne, thanks. We got to go back to Arlington. Howie Kendrick at the plate, going the other way. Rios comes close, but it's up against the wall. The Angels have cut the deficit to just 1 despite committing 4 errors in this game. They're not done, but guess who is? Derek Holland. He went 4 2/3. It's the 3rd time in his last 6 starts he hasn't gotten out of the 5th inning. 5-4 the score. Back to you guys in Toronto.
All right, Greg, thank you. Here, Kevin Pillar takes a strike at the knees with Langerhans at first and 2 outs.
Do you know that Mike Scioscia has that Angel team primed to go into Texas, division rival, and play them extremely tough? Look, they're not in the playoffs, but they're going to try to prevent the Rangers from getting there.
There's strike 2. We saw Pillar very susceptible to the slider last night.
And you better believe that that did not miss the game planning of Chris Archer. He's got a very good one. That's when he struck out Josh Tolley on. We finally saw one drop it down and in on the left-handed hitter, trying to keep it down and away from Pillar.
A 2-strike count. Pillar stays alive, fouling that 98-mile-per-hour fastball.
And this would be a good place to come back with the slider now. That ball was elevated. You saw Pillar have to swing up top of the zone, maybe even above the zone, to foul that pitch off. You've changed his eye level. Now drop that good slider down and away. See if he won't swing right over the top of it.
And he reaches and gets a little piece of it to foul it.
You tip your hat to Pillar for that. And all he did was foul that pitch off. But that's all about he was going to be able to do. He puts that ball into play. This is going to be the end of the inning. But a nice job and adjustment here. Good slider. Better effort there by Pillar to fight it off and stay alive.
Plays off the pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rays saw their 7-game winning streak snapped last night. Only the 4th time they've lost in the last 16 games. And Pillar could not check on that slider. He's out on strikes. A man left on base. We'll be back after a word from your local Fox stations. To the third. We're pleased to be joined by John Gibbons, the manager of the Toronto Blue Jays. And John, a lot of expectations for the Blue Jays this year, but a lot of injuries. And you've had a chance now to see a lot of these young players that you might not otherwise have seen. Who would be the most impressive of that lot for you?
I tell you what, Dwayne, you know, our second baseman today, Ryan Goins, has really come out of nowhere. You know, as an organization, we liked him, but we kind of viewed him as a going into this year as kind of a utility player. Since he's come up to the big league, he's really filled a big hole for us at second base and done a tremendous job, showing good range. One of our downfalls this year, we really hadn't played very good defense, especially in that second base slot. And he's really come back and filled that in for us nicely. And he's swinging the bat too as well.
There's a drive deep to left, and Pilar makes the catch on that drive by Zobrist.
Here in Toronto, you never, hey, that ball gets airborne, you never know.
Especially with the roof open.
That's right.
Hey, John, you know, this has been a trying year for Jay Happ. Obviously, he missed 3 months with the head contusion, the knee issue, and now that he's come back, now dealing with an arm angle change, moving him down just a little bit to improve the command. What have you seen from your lefty starter this afternoon?
Well, I tell you, I really like what I've seen. You know, 2 starts ago, he started playing with it, and we've seen some pretty good results. It's, you know, because he was so far over the top, he just battled being up and down in the zone, you know, finding that consistency. And now lowering him a little bit, now he's able to work in and out a little bit more. It's helped his breaking ball quite a bit, and he keep that in the zone as well. So it's a work in progress right now. But for this is his 3rd start since he started. I've seen great improvement. I think we all think it's something that is going to help put him over the top.
John, we certainly appreciate you taking the time in the middle of the game to visit with us. Good luck, and we will look forward to seeing you next spring.
Hey, enjoy visiting with you guys. Take care.
All right, John Gibbons, the manager of the Blue Jays, taking time in the middle of the game to visit. 1 out, Zobrist with that deep fly ball to left, and the count to Sean Rodriguez, 2-1. This one airborne, short left. Reyes starts out, but Pilar in. 2 outs.
I think manager John Gibbons seeing the same thing that we are. A lot of potential here with Jay Happ and that arm angle. The velocity's plenty good, 92 to 94. Good depth on the breaking ball. The slider, the few that we've seen have been tight. Haven't seen the changeup as much, but you would think that there's a lot there to work with pitching coach Pete Walker.
That could be good for this Toronto Blue Jay ball club. One of the areas they want to concentrate on is shoring up their starting pitching. They've had some injuries there as well. And Jay Happ, now 30, an opportunity for him to really step into something good.
Well, that's what you need that here in playing in the American League East. You know, you look around, they definitely, when they're healthy, their lineup is strong, it's powerful, it's a threat. You know, John talked about it, about cleaning up the defense a little bit and getting some starting pitching. You got to get off to a good start because they turn it over to a very good bullpen. Got to bridge that gap.
2-1.
I think too that the key is dominant starting pitching, and that's tough to come by. It's if you're going to pay for it in the free agent market, you're going to pay through the nose. You got to draft and develop it. And that's not something you're going to do overnight.
High fly ball back into left. Pilar just to the edge of the track and makes the catch. 3 fly balls. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. 1-0 Tampa Bay. Top of the order for the Blue Jays against Chris Archer. Jose Reyes out pitcher first, his first time. Comes out swinging at the high fastball, fouling it. Strike one.
I think the second time through the lineup, you're going to see these Blue Jay hitters try to take advantage of Chris Archer and the number of pitches that he's thrown out over the plate. You saw Brett Laurie be aggressive with him his first time up. I think you're going to see that theme continue.
Down and in with a slider. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. 22 pitches in the first by Archer and 21 in the second inning. Already making more pitches than Jim Hickey would like to see him make. That's a strike. He's ahead of Reyes. A ball, 2 strikes. Pleased to be joined by the 2-time manager of the year of the Tampa Bay Rays, Joe Madden. Joe, a tough loss last night. There's a lot of emphasis in the organization on process.
Yep.
Is this where process pays off?
Got to stick with it. I just told Archie earlier in the game, 1 pitch at a time, buddy, because he's got such good stuff. He gave up that base hit to Sierra on that. It was a full count breaking ball to left field, and I saw him get a little bit animated, and I reminded him about something he does very, very well, and that's 1 pitch at a time.
Well, Joby, you think about that game last night, the heat of the playoff race. It was a sloppy game by the Rays, not typical at all. Does the quick turnaround help or hurt your bunch?
You know, I don't know. I last night, a little bit of fatigue was part of that game, I thought. A lot of fatigue was a little bit part of that. We got in real late the night before, so you got the quick turnaround after a night game. I don't know. I don't think there's any great advantage or disadvantage. I always like our guys to get their rest. That's always the paramount thing with me.
Well, a tough break right there on that comebacker to the hill, deflected by Archer.
How about a double play ball? That'll work.
So here's Brett Laurie. Well, Skip, 2 games left.
Joe, talk a little bit about the resiliency of your ball club. You know, you have the tough West Coast trip a couple of weeks ago. Didn't play very well at all, and then all of a sudden you come home, you have that 18-inning ball game against the Baltimore Orioles. You prevail in that game late, and it really looked like that was the wind in the Rays' sails going forward.
I agree. We had to have that kind of signature win, as Rick Vaughn likes to allude to, and it then finally showed up at that point. We've been playing well. I mean, even the Texas series was a tough one, splitting 4 games with them, and then to take 4 at home against Baltimore is a very, very difficult thing to do. Then, of course, the Yankees series after that. So regardless, we've been playing really good, and I agree with you, BA, that 18-inning game had a lot to do with it.
All right, Joe, we appreciate taking time in the middle of this inning, in the middle of this most important game. We wish you all the best.
All right, you guys be well. Enjoy it. Enjoy the national game. Go for it.
Thank you very much.
All right, see you.
2-0 the count. Brett Laurie up there, and it's now 2 balls and a strike. Reyes at first. Tampa Bay with a run in the first. Toronto threatened in their first, left a man on in the second, leadoff man on in the 3rd inning. Three balls and a strike. It's on the corner.
That's a gutsy pitch. Gutsy pitch by Chris Archer in a 3-1 count. You're going to drop that slider. You just don't want to get predictable. I mean, he threw a fastball over the plate in the first at bat, and Laurie almost spun his cap for him.
Yeah, good incentive to make a good 3-1 pitch right there.
Self-preservation.
Reyes on the move and a base hit into right. Myers with a pickup. Reyes goes to third on the single to right. First and third.
And it's just another Blue Jay hitter taking advantage of a ball that was up in the zone. Through a 3-1 slider, very good. Watch where the 3-2 ends up. Too hittable.
Well, what we've seen is the Blue Jays mount this threat, something we talked about early. Plenty of velocity, command, location, still wanting.
And again, big start for Chris Archer, young. You're overamped, hasn't quite settled into the game yet. And typically, when you are too pumped for a start, you want to start heading towards home plate a little bit too early. When you do that, front side starts too early, your arm cannot catch up. Everything has to be in sync, whether you're on the mound or at the plate. And if you get started too early in either one, the hands drag behind, they don't catch up, release point's a little bit off, pitches stay elevated.
Yeah, it's early. It's only in the third, but it's, even though the Rays have a 1-0 lead, you almost feel as if Toronto has the lead right now.
Well, they've put a number of good swings on Chris Archer. He's made pitches when he's needed to keep them off the board. And he's going to have to be really good right here, going through the middle of this lineup now. Nobody out, first and third, nursing a 1-run lead.
And Adam Lynn, the DH in the batter's box. Pitch away, off the plate.
I don't think it'll be too much longer either before Joe Maddon will start to get somebody going down in that Rays bullpen. That's been his MO here in the last week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah, there's some action right now.
Yes, there is.
Foul out of play. And this late in the year, I mean, Joe will make changes anyway, but especially with an expanded roster and so much riding, he will not hesitate to make a change.
These are playoff games.
Yep.
You know, this may not be the actual postseason, but these are playoff games, and that's how Joe Maddon's going to manage them. See Alex Torres.
2 balls and a strike. Yeah, they're playoff games to try to qualify for a sudden death game.
Right.
I mean,
right.
That's what you're after.
And the way that these guys are playing, they'll give anything for that one extra game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's all about.
Right.
Get into the postseason. You never know what's going to happen. Someone's going to win that wild card game. And guess what? Then they're going to have a chance to get into a series and see how deep they can go.
It's a foul ball. 2-2.
And you know, you'll never know if you'll get an opportunity to get back there. I mean, the Rays have been a successful franchise. You're looking for their 4th playoff berth in the last 6 seasons, but you just never know. I mean, ask Jamie Wright about getting to the playoffs.
Yep, hasn't done it in 18 years, ever.
I can remember being part of the 2001 Diamondback playoff team. Mike Morgan, it was his 23rd year in the big leagues, had never been to the playoffs. You don't want to get this close and not get it done.
Close. 3 balls, 2 strikes. High drive base hit. Reyes scores. Toronto on the board, and that ties the game at 1.
Well, and the second time through, you're seeing some good swings. And Brett Lloyd did a nice job of staying inside the baseball, hitting it out to right field. And now Adam Lind, in a full count, gets a slider out over the plate and hammers this ball in between first and second to drive in the tying run. Still nobody out.
I say Sierra, who singled off the slider in the first inning.
If you're Chris Archer, you got to think down, down, down. Anything down. You want that ground ball double play badly.
Fouls the fastball back. Extra on that one at 98.
Instead of reaching back and getting yourself a little extra velocity, you need to get yourself into a better spot in the strike zone.
Takes it to 0-2.
If you could do both, that's even better.
Well, the right spot. That's been the issue for Chris Archer here in the early part of this game.
Well, you got to tip your hat to these Blue Jay hitters. You know, nobody on this ball club is mailing it in. They're playing hard to the end. They're taking advantage of those pitches that were up in the zone.
Out of play. Count still 2 strikes.
You know, I think that, and we've seen Chris Archer throw some good sliders today in that 88-mile-an-hour range, but more often than not, his slider with really good break and a lot of depth is more in that 86 range. Right now, almost seems to be throwing some of them just a little too hard. They've hung up. They almost throwing right through the break.
Two hits allowed in the first, a walk in the second. 3 hits and a run here in the third. And he gets Sierra chasing that one. A big strikeout on the slider. 1 away. Let's go to the MLB Network studios for a game break.
Dwayne, let's go back to Arlington, see what's going on with the Rangers and the Angels. A.J. Przinsky at the plate, shoots this one the other way. It's going to score Rios, make the score 6-4, but you'll see A.J. advance on the 5th error of this game by the Halos. Only the Tigers have committed more errors in a single game this year. That's when they committed 6 against the Angels back in June. 7-4 the score now through 5. Back to you guys at Toronto.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. We're in the bottom of the third, and there will be a pitching change. That's going to be it for Chris Archer. Archer works 2 1/3, his second shortest start of the year, allowing 5 hits and a run, 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. And this inning began on that deflected comebacker off the bat of Reyes. But it has been a struggle with his command for Archer, and he gives way to Alex Torres.
Well, Alex on for the 39th time, and you're right, Dwayne. You can imagine right now that Chris Archer sitting on that bench going through that each and every pitch that was up in the zone, that ground ball, that play that he had a chance to make. Tough start for the young right-hander, but he will learn from it moving forward.
Anthony Gose, the hitter for the Blue Jays. First pitch, that's a strike.
Joe kind of alluded to it too. Said, listen, one pitch at a time, saw him get a little animated. That's something that the Rays had not seen a whole lot of in his last handful of starts. He really has done a nice job of calming himself down on the mound, but a little, over-animated today, a little over-amped. I think that's what led to pitches that stayed up in the zone. Rushing that delivery just a little bit.
It's a big start for a young pitcher. Big start for a veteran pitcher.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
Ground ball. Zobrist to Escobar. First base not going to be in time there. They get the out at second. The ball just not hit hard enough to double up Gose.
And Gose hitting from the left side. He's got a jump down the line already. Hustling hard, everything that the Rays could do. Escobar, good turn, strong throw, too much speed.
I'll tell you though, BA, a very good pitch by Torres, and here's another young pitcher who's had a great rookie year and has contributed to this club.
Out of nowhere.
Yep.
His issue, again, in the minor leagues had always been command. Well, he comes up, basically to be a long man, for blowout games, eat up some innings, and that's what he did early on, but he was so dominating. And Joe Maddon said, you know what, you've earned my trust. I'm going to start moving you towards the back end of the bullpen. Now he does a little bit of everything.
Ball pops away from Molina. Going showing the bunt, and Gose alertly moves into scoring position.
Nice heads up, good anticipation by Gose. And, it's a good thing that Molina even got a glove on that ball. That very easily could have been a Toronto Blue Jay lead right here. Expecting a fastball down and away. He gets one spiked down and in. Runner on third keeps him there, but Gose moves up.
A great stop, and with the ball rolling away, heads up by Gose to take the base. Want to know the count to Goins? One. This is the young second baseman John Gibbons talked about. And he's had good at bats, but they've really been impressed with him and his ability to increase their double play output around second base. Fastball, strike two.
He's been involved in, I think, since his call up the end of August, 26 double plays during that time frame. Only Brandon Phillips with the Reds has been involved in more, and that's one of the things they talked about with that position. That's something they struggled with during the season, was turning the double play. He brings an athleticism out there to second base. We've seen that, the fluid movements, the fluid swing. He's got a big opportunity here.
Two balls, two strikes. Chris Archer out of the game after 2 1/3. Torres out here trying to hold this game right where it is. Tampa Bay with a run in the first, Toronto a run in the third. Very close. And the count is full.
He stands Goins here up on a changeup, 87 miles an hour. Even though that was a changeup in like that, it would be a bad time to go back down and away with that good mid-90s fastball.
That's a foul ball, just foul. Not by much.
He's throwing that changeup so hard today. That fastball, in the 94 range, that changeup in the upper 80s, not a huge differential. Goins almost made him pay right there.
and a miss on the fastball to strike him out. So a good job by Torres. Blue Jays tie it. We go to the fourth. Today Men's, the official multivitamin of MLB, and by Fox Sports 1. To find your channel, go to foxsports1.com.
What would it take to get you up there, Dwayne?
Big elevator.
So you're game for it.
Done it before.
You have?
Yeah.
You got me. Got no chance.
We'll go right after the game.
I'd have to be sentenced to go up there.
One strike to Evan Longoria. He leads it off here and takes a pitch away. 1-1.
It would not be of my own free will. I promise you that.
It's a great attraction here in Toronto. Two and one. Big patch of a clear floor to look down.
Yeah. Don't. Try to be professional.
Strike two to Longoria. Middle of the Rays order here. Longoria, Young, and Escobar.
There's the changeup from Happ. We have not seen too much of that. He had kind of gone away from his norm. Very heavy fastball changeup against the righties.
And he is out on strikes. Tolley came up with that. Longoria thought it might have hit the ground, popping away from Tolley, but he held on for strike three.
Well, here's that curveball. Good depth to it. Sweeps it right in, and you see Tolley able to smother that ball. Well, it looked like that ball caught right in the thumb. He's going to show it to home plate umpire Chad Fairchild for out number one.
Roman Young fouls it away, out of play. Rays and the Blue Jays have Chad Fairchild working the plate. 6+ years in the major leagues, and he has distinguished himself as a very good ball and strike umpire. Young takes a pitch high. 1-1. He was ranked the highest of all the umpires when it came to balls and strikes called on pitches taken. Down to third. Lori's throw scooped a little bit by Langerhorns. So that's the second out here in the fourth, and we will check in with the third member of our crew, Todd Callis. Todd?
Wayne, thanks. One of the more remarkable stories in all of sports has been the recent run of the Tampa Bay Rays. If you go back the last 4 years, Texas can match Tampa Bay with a win today or tomorrow, but they have 90-win seasons in 4 consecutive seasons. Nobody in baseball has won 90 games or more in 5 of the last 6 years except for the Rays. And when you consider this team hadn't won more than 70 games in their first 10 years of their franchise existence, an astounding turnaround, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Todd. A remarkable feat indeed, and one of the great stories in not only baseball but all of sports, that turnaround and the sustained success story they have been on the field. And Joe Madden and that whole baseball office, a lot to do with that. You got to do it on the field, but you got to put all the pieces together and gather all the necessary information. And they certainly have done a great job at that.
There has to be the organizational philosophy that permeates from top to bottom, and everybody has to buy in.
One and two, the count to Escobar. And here they are in this fight for the wild card spot. You talk about tight. All 3 teams separated by only 1 game. Goins hits second from one knee, makes the throw. 1, 2, 3, go the Rays against Happ. A 1-1 ball game. Sports 1, Louisiana Tech taking on Army from the Cotton Bowl on Fox Sports 1. Then on Fox, it's a Pac-12 battle between Arizona and 16th ranked Washington. Ron Langerhans reaching to open the 4th inning. And just like that, the Blue Jays have something to try to build on.
You see Evan Longoria back. Langerhans figuring that's going to be a tough at-bat against Alex Torres. Just takes advantage of the placement. Lays that ball down, leadoff hit.
Josh Tolley. Tolley showing bunt. The pitch is a strike. Torres a good job of getting out of the spot in the 3rd inning and limiting the Blue Jays to just 1 run. He struck out against Archer in the second. Showing the bunt again on a pitch way high, reaching up Molina.
And a nice play by Molina. You know, as a catcher, you're anticipating a pitch not headed towards its intended target. Maybe not like this, though. And he's got to get that glove up there in a hurry.
Takes the count to a ball, 2 strikes. Fouled out of play. .38-year-old Jamie Wright busy in the Rays bullpen right now. A big bullpen day for Tampa Bay. Archer left after 2 1/3. Tolley swings and misses. He's out on strikes. Blue Jays come into this game 73 and 87, and here's one of the reasons. You can see some major parts of this team out for the rest of the season.
How about the first 4 guys right there? That's the middle of your lineup for the Blue Jays. A lot of power and production gone right there. Josh Johnson, of course, came in the trade with the Marlins, along with Mark Burley, Jose Reyes, a host of others. He was counted on heavily to shore up that starting rotation we were talking about.
Pilar takes a strike. When the game ends, the official multivitamin of Major League Baseball encourages you to stay in the game when it comes to health and wellness. An extensive list for the Blue Jays this year. But it's their manager mentioned earlier, it has given him an opportunity to take a look at some of the young players, and John Gibbons has been impressed with an eye toward next year.
Well, and to his credit, too, you know, in talking to him about the injuries, he just refused. He said, listen, everybody has injuries. I'm not going to, you know, even go down that road. I'm not going to talk about that. We didn't play well regardless, you know, on and on and on. But regardless of what he says, those injuries, this was a team that was built, looked strong on paper, and just never got on track. I mean, there were injuries right from the beginning. By mid-April, you had key players already out of the lineup for an extended period of time, and they just could never get things going.
Yeah, Gibbons said that even the handful of games that everybody was together, they never played the way they anticipated this team could or should play. So he's not using that as a reason for this team not being nearly as successful as they had anticipated, just to stand up in his response to all that.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell in the time that we got to spend with him just how accountable, you know, he is, and he's not going to make excuses and understands what lies ahead and where advances need to be made.
2-2 to Pilar.
Certainly looks right now from the Rays' point of view that they're going to attack Kevin Pilar with a lot of off speed. You know, tease him with the fastball and then let him swing over the off speed.
Reaches out, fouls it away, holding the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Langer hands at first. He bunted his way on. Tolley struck out on a changeup. Pulls this one foul. We're talking about how tight this race has been with the Rays and the Indians and the Rangers. It's the closest three clubs have been contending for any playoff spot with no more than 2 games left on the schedule since the National League in 2007. The NL West and the wild card had a bottleneck that year. Another foul ball. The Diamondbacks were involved in that after 162 games. The Diamondbacks a game ahead of the Rockies and the Padres for the division title. And the Rockies and Padres tied for the wild card with the Mets a game behind. The Rockies won the tiebreaker with the Padres and then swept through the NLDS and the NLCS and were swept by Boston in the World Series.
That was that year that Colorado just finished the regular season with a flourish. They were the hottest team in baseball by a wide margin.
Toward the hole, Escobar, long throw to first, not going to be in time. Escobar, a good effort there, but deep in the hole and could not get enough on it.
Boy, perfect placement by Pilar. He gets it by Evan Longoria. That would have been the easier play. Splits the difference by Evan, but then Escobar's got to backhand it deep in the hole, just can't get enough on the throw. Yeah, that was the year that Colorado finished so strong, swept through, and they swept through so quickly that they had to sit for almost a week and wait for Boston to get done with their series. And by that time, they were flat-footed. Boston came in having been winning, playing regularly, and they just tore right through them.
Well, that's the danger of having all that time off. The Rockies had won 15 out of 16. Long drive to left off the bat of Reyes to the track. Sean Rodriguez gets it.
Boy, and he got turned around too. He got turned around, fortunate enough to spin back, find it, and make that catch. Jose Reyes making a bid.
Brett Laurie is due up.
Boy, this ball up and out over the plate, and Reyes puts a charge into it. You see right here, and got to turn back. That's a nice job of recalibrating, finding it, making the catch.
Well, Joe Madden making the walk to the mound. We'll be back in a moment. To win a sports room makeover. Alex Torres departs in favor of Jamie Wright. 18-year veteran, the third raised pitcher, on to face Brett Lawrie.
Another pitcher out of this Joe Madden bullpen that has seen his role expand as the year has gone on. He is now on for the 66th time. 69 and a third innings of work, 63 strikeouts. Joe Madden comfortable with Jamie Wright on both right-handers and left-handers because of his vast assortment of pitches.
First pitch is a strike to Lawrie. Lawrie 2 for 2. Langerhans at second and Pilar at first base. A bunt single and the infield hit on a ball hit into the hole between short and third that Escobar made a play on. Down, picked by Molina. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Jose Molina showing some nifty glove work behind the plate today. Not your traditional blocks, but he is picking the ball, knocking it down, keep it within distance.
Two balls, 1 strike. Blue Jays have had base runners in every inning. And in scoring position in 3 of the 4. Lawrie tracks that one all the way in, too low.
Awfully close here. Late action on that changeup. You see Lawrie getting a good look at it. Not taking the bait.
The Rays used 7 pitchers last night, dropping a 6-3 decision to the Blue Jays. And Lawrie walks to load the bases. So a bunt single, an infield hit, and a walk, and the bases are loaded.
Now, the main reason that Joe Madden doesn't mind Jamie Wright on both righties and lefties primarily has been the cutter. And I think that if Adam Lynn right here, that's a pitch that he's going to see plenty of. Jamie Wright teasing you with that cutter out there over the plate, 88, 89, trying to cut it in on the left-hander's hands.
And as a result, we just saw the breakout lefty-righty. Lefty's 2-11.
Yep. You can expect to see that pitch here to Adam Lynn.
The pitch is a strike at the knees. Lynn does have a couple of hits in 6 at-bats of Jamie Wright, including a home run. A walk and a couple strikeouts in that mix. Foul the other way, out of play.
Adam Lynn looks like he ought to be a goon for the Maple Leafs. Got the playoff beard going.
Well, he's getting ready for the hockey season.
Yeah. Their final preseason game here in town tonight against the Red Wings. He's already in mid-season form.
It's a ball and 2 strikes. A tie game, 1-1. There have been Blue Jay runners all over the bases in this game. Down and in. He started and checked in time. Gary Cooper at thirds confirms that he held up. Lynn has the run batted in this game for the Blue Jays. third. Langerhans scores. Pilar scores. Laurie goes into third. Lynn just kept it fair. He got a base hit and 2 runs batted in.
Yeah, you figured that was a double off the bat. First of all, a nice job by swinging the bat by Adam Lynn. This is meant to be a cutter in, and it's backed up on Jamie Wright. And you can see right there, that's why he only ended up with a single, taking it real easy down there at first base. But boy, find an open room inside the bag, and the Blue Jays jump out.
He's had a bad back, and you wonder, because he's in there swinging the bat.
Yeah, with something.
Back in because of a bad back. And 3 runs batted in today. Sierra takes the pitch for a strike. The run's charged to Torres. Toronto takes a 3-1 edge here. Two. The run in the third inning started on the base hit by Reyes that deflected off Archer. And the uprising in the fourth started on the bunt by Langerhans, leading to 2 runs so far. Sierra reaching for the breaking ball is out on strikes. 2-run score. The hit by Lynn the opposite way drives in 2, and it's 3-1 Toronto. James Loney to open the 5th inning for the Rays against Blue Jays left-hander Jay Happ. Loney doubled his first time on that infield pop-up that dropped. It's the last base runner the Rays have had. Loney out in front of the pitch, waves and misses. It's 1-1.
Well, we talked about it in the open. The Rays, they want to win this ball game. You're going to have to get the offense going again. Didn't have a whole lot to show for it last night. Not so much here off Happ. Hits the balls hard. They have not had much to show for it.
They picked up their run in the first when Will Myers base hit, drove in Ben Zobrist. A shot deep into center field. Goes a long run, still on the move, and he gets there to make the catch. Ghost covered a lot of ground. That's the first out. Well, the Rays opened the scoring in the first. Myers drilled it into left. One out single scoring Ben Zobrist. Adam Lind singled home. Jose Reyes in the third to tie the game. And it was Adam Lind again in the fourth inning the other way with a base hit up the left field line, scoring Langerhans and Pilar. And it's 3-1 as we play in the fifth. Jose Molina takes a strike.
Well, this is the part of the game, too, you'd like to see the Rays break through. We talked about some solid contact off Happ. That ball by Loney was driven well. But the longer this goes on and the longer the Happ is able to keep them at bay, that's when you start to open up that door to that very strong Blue Jay bullpen.
Yeah, that's the concern for the Rays, behind early. So there is a sense of urgency to score some runs. Line drive caught by Goins. 2 outs. 10 in a row retired. Base is empty. 2 outs for Sam Fole. That's a strike. Happ quickly ahead of Fole. 18th start of the year for Jay Happ. He's looking for his 5th win. It's a ball and 2 strikes. 30-year-old left-hander. Came to Toronto from Houston last year. He was a combined 10 and 11 last year.
You see that line right there, no walks. That has been the key. They talked about Jay Happ and his command, moving that arm angle down. He's not hurt himself with the self-inflicted wound.
And strike 3 called. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays. Bottom of the 5th coming up from Toronto. 3-1 Blue Jays. the all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado. Three to one as we move into the bottom of the fifth inning. The Blue Jays lead the Rays. Anthony Gose leads off against right-hander Jamie Wright. Show of a bunt. The pitch is a strike. Gose made a nice catch on the ball hit by James Loney in the top half of this inning. He ran a great route.
Yes, he did. Covered a lot of ground. That ball hung up there for a long time, but he had to go a long way. And, you know, he's another one of the guys that manager John Gibbons mentioned as a guy who's getting an opportunity, showing him a little bit of something, stepping up defensively. We've seen that. He's got good speed.
Line drive to right. Falling for a base hit. Big turn, and you've got to be careful with Gose.
Well, yeah, that's where that speed comes into play. And Will Myers right there, that line drive by Gose, a cautious approach, not wanting to come in. It's a tight ball game. You're already down by 2 runs. Gose does a nice job. Look at that head down. See Will Myers kind of peel off that ball, let it bounce.
The Blue Jays have put the leadoff hitter on base now in 3 consecutive innings. That led to a run in the third and 2 runs in the fourth.
And that is a tough way to pitch. You instantly apply pressure to the Rays defense. Right out of the stretch, you see Jamie already paying attention to Gose because of that speed. Teams tend to be more aggressive when they have the lead.
Owens, the second baseman, up there to first again, a little closer this time.
Well, look, the Blue Jays would like nothing more than, again, we talked about Mike Scioscia, the Angels against the Rangers, keep them out of the playoffs. It's exactly what the Blue Jays would like to do. They're going to play this tough. They're going to add pressure, put guys in motion.
Pitch outside.
The
Ball,
Rays,
no strikes.
the Rays are going to get the job done. They're going to have to earn it. And right now, it's tough sledding.
Runner goes. Pitch foul down the left field side. Headed for the stands. With this lead, Blue Jays starting the runner.
You can afford to be aggressive, and you never know. You put a hit and run on like that, Gose is off and running, find a hole, and you got a chance for another big inning. You know, this team's not, you know, this isn't the Blue Jay team you expected to see. You know, all the big sluggers not there. You're not going to be able to just sit back, manufacture 3-run homers. You're going to have to do it, put different guys in motion, guys on base. Small ball.
Gose out there, jockeying back and forth a little bit, draws the toss. Jamie Wright, the third pitcher of the game. There goes the runner. Pitch is high, and the ball pops out of the mitt of Molina. Gose in with a stolen base.
Well, here you go. 4th stolen base of the season. Got a good jump. That pitch for Molina. You see where this pitch ends up. Almost like a pitch out. He comes out, just not able to get that ball securely in the glove. I don't know if it would have mattered anyway.
Another man in scoring position. Makes 4 of the 5 innings. The Blue Jays have had a man in scoring position, and they've cashed in a run in the third and 2 runs in the fourth. Owens showing bunt, takes ball 3.
We talked about Jamie Wright and the cutter to lefties, and that's a pitch that has eluded him thus far in his outing. He's been going, some of them have gotten in there okay. Many others have stayed middle of the plate and away. In fact, that was the pitch that Lind hit up the left field line. The pitch that Ghost ran on in this most recent pitch.
Right behind in the count, 3-1. That will run the count full.
He gets a strike on that, but if you look where Molina was set up, he wanted that ball in again. He wanted in on Goins' hands in case he was swinging. Look where Molina's set up, inner half. Look where the ball ends up. Cuts on the outside corner.
Ball into right. Myers back to the track. Gone. The young second baseman has just hit his second home run. A 2-run shot to make it 5-1 Toronto.
We've seen some impressive swings from Ryan Goins the last couple of nights. Hit a long foul home run earlier in this ball game, and this one he keeps fair. And it was well struck. It's going to be a cutter, and it ends up down and in. He just goes down and sweeps it right out of the yard.
There's Langerhans taking a pitch wide. Langerhans has been on twice. He walked his first time. Here's the home run swing by Ryan Goins. So the Blue Jays taking advantage of the Rays here and the inability of at least 2 of the 3 pitchers they've had in there today to locate well.
Dwayne, you made mention of it. The last 3 innings, the Blue Jays have put the leadoff man aboard, and guess what? They've scored in all 3. Not done here yet in the 5th.
Pitch outside. 2-0. One run off Archer, 2 runs off Torres, 2 runs off Wright. Ground ball, there's a base hit. Langerhans on for the 3rd time today. 3 consecutive hits to open the bottom of the 5th.
That cutter from Jamie Wright, he's just not able to get it to the spot that he wants. These guys are just dropping head on it, finding holes. And he goes right back to the stretch with a runner aboard.
Toronto now with 11 hits in the game, hitting in the bottom of the 5th. Goes the runner and a swing and a miss. Down to second, Langerhans. He was breaking, so he'll get a steal on that swing and a miss as the ball got away. The count to Tolle is a strike.
Yeah, you don't know if this was a hit and run, a little protection here by Tolle. But he is going to provide some distraction here with the swing, and that ball just out of the webbing of Molina's glove. And here the Blue Jays again aggressive on the base paths with the lead. One and one.
Brandon Gomes now up in the Rays bullpen. Right misses outside, 2-1. The Rays have won the season series from the Blue Jays 10-7, but the Blue Jays making a statement here today.
Well, they sure are. They have come ready to play.
2-2 with the foul ball. In fact, the Rays have won 8 of the last 11, including last night's game, won by the Blue Jays 6-3. Misses outside. Stayed wide.
The Rays want to get to the postseason. You know, nothing's going to be given to you. You're going to have to go out and earn it. And the Blue Jays, boy, to their credit. And, you know, you've got a lot of young guys in this lineup that are, you know, hoping for opportunities in the future to be a part of this club next year when the team's at full strength and they are playing as hard as you could want them to.
It's only a wave and a miss. There'll have to be a toss to first. Molina down to Loney, and that's the first out recorded in the bottom of the 5th inning. And that's a point you can't overlook. While the Rays have a lot riding on this game today and tomorrow, this Toronto ball club young, and they're playing to get the opportunity to play in the major leagues. Pitching change coming as Joe Maddon again walks to the mound. He's making his 26th appearance. Most recently in last night's game for a third of an inning when he recorded a strikeout and left a man on base.
You can see right there 27 strikeouts in 18 2/3, and don't let that ERA of over 6 fool you. He's been throwing the ball very, very well for Joe Maddon.
Faces Kevin Pillar. Pitch is a strike. Jamie Wright, 31 pitches, 2/3 of an inning, and charged with 2 runs, responsible for a man on. Langer hands the runner at second base belonging to Wright's account. 1-1.
This has been a day thus far here in the bottom of the 5th inning where Rays pitching has just not executed their pitches. Good game plan, and that's all well and good, but you've got to be able to execute, and they have not done that through 4 1/3.
There's a strike. Around the knees, 1 ball, 2 strikes. They're down by 4. They need a stop here and some offensive momentum. The Blue Jays applying all the pressure today.
Well, the Blue Jays are playing loose. You know, I mean, they have had some good at-bats today, taking advantage of some pitches, tie the game up, take the lead. Then they started to get very aggressive on the base paths. Let it all hang out. Got nothing to lose. Sometimes those are the most dangerous teams to face.
2-2 the count. Pilar was part of the 2-run 4th inning. He reached on a base hit that was backhanded by Escobar, but deep in the hole at short. And Pilar beat the throw to first. It's the top of the order. Jose Reyes waiting on deck. Into left. Rodriguez will go to the wall. And that one is gone. Pilar hits a 2-run home run. The Blue Jays having their way with Rays pitching through the first 4+ innings of this game. It's 7-1.
Kevin Pilar, the slider down and away has been an extremely effective pitch against him when it has been located well. This one here hangs, and don't think that that's not been lost on him, the way that the Rays are pitching it. So he's looking for that pitch. He gets a hanger, and he makes him pay.
Jose Reyes takes a pitch away, and here's that home run swing.
He stayed nice and short with the swing, hands right to the baseball. Gets it into the bullpen.
Big cut by Reyes at a fastball. It's fouled back. A dozen hits now for Toronto. 7 runs. One and 2. Reyes fouls it. Reyes scored the first run of the game for the Blue Jays. Jose Molina taking a little while collecting himself after taking that foul ball. Cesar Ramos up in the bullpen. Brandon Gomes, the 4th pitcher for the Rays today. Reyes fouls it back. Rays came in here on a 7-game winning streak. Blue Jays ended that last night, and they have taken a commanding 7-1 lead in the 5th inning of this game. 2-2.
You know what? We have seen these Blue Jay hitters time and time again put good at-bats, not conceding anything. Trying to get good looks at pitches, not giving up at-bats, trying to make each and every one count. Boys, it paid off in a big way.
And another foul ball. And they're seeing a lot of pitches.
Battling, Jose Reyes, part of his game. Well, what a catalyst at the top of a lineup.
Brett Lawrie is on deck. And Reyes is out on strikes. 2 gone.
With that slider there from Brandon Gomes, looked like it took a left turn. Watch right here, the swing by Reyes, completely fooled.
Brett Lawrie with 2 singles and a walk has been on all 3 times. Outside with the slider, 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, when you're up for the 4th time in the 5th inning, it's not going well for the opposition.
Yep. One and one. So a difficult stop so far for the Rays here playing the Blue Jays. 3 errors last night. 6-3 Toronto win. Today the Blue Jays have 7 runs, 12 hits. They've hit 2 home runs in this inning, a 4-run 5th to build a 7-1 lead. Runs the count to 3-1. Full count.
Brandon Gomes goes with the fastball there. Steady diet of breaking balls to Brett Lawrie. Goes to the fastball 3-1. Catches the outer edge of the strike zone.
And there's ball 4. Fastball missed. So this inning will continue. Molina goes to the mound. Adam Lind is due, but as we mentioned earlier, he's had some back issues, and they appeared to be evident when he hit that ball up the left field line in the 4th and stopped at first when he drove in 2. And now Yunonori Kawasaki will pinch hit for Lind.
Well, this is another guy that has been swinging the bat very well for John Gibbons and the Toronto Blue Jays. His last 15 games, he's got an on-base percentage approaching 400, is hitting .364.
And a crowd favorite here in Toronto.
Yes, he is.
They had to send him out earlier this year, and it became a major issue with the fans. They missed him.
Yeah. Well, he plays the game with so much life. I mean, he's worth watching all by himself. Now, you're going to get exhausted watching him. But, boy, a ton of energy. Enjoys playing this game. Enjoys this city.
It's a strike. It's 1-1. He plays with great energy.
It's nice when you watch somebody truly enjoy what they do. There's no shortage of that with Kawasaki.
Puts him down in the count, 1-2.
Yeah, right now he's facing a couple of tough pitches there by Brandon Gomes. Back to back, outside corner. Now Lock him up inside corner.
Walked by Molina. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Red Laurie is walked. He's at first.
It'll be very interesting to see when Jay Happ comes back out. He's had back-to-back innings of having to sit for an awful long time. How sharp is he going to be? Can the Rays take advantage? If he's not.
It's a big swing and a miss, and down goes Kawasaki. 2 home runs in the inning. 8 men come to the plate. Goins hit one out. Pilar also connected. And through 5 innings, Toronto has built a 7-1 lead. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. And by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Ben Zobrist fouling off a pitch beginning the 6th inning. Ben opened the game with a double off the center field wall and scored on a base hit by Will Myers. Shot foul.
Ooh. Boy, look out. Tell you what, you're sitting down at a Major League ball game down near the dugouts. You had better keep your head on a swivel. These balls get rocketed up there. You don't have a whole lot of time to think about it.
Inside, 1-2. Sean Rodriguez due next, followed by Myers. Fouled back a pitch in. Happ had a couple of innings with relatively high pitch counts in the 1st and 2nd. The average is almost 19 pitches an inning anyway, 18 in the 1st and 19 in the 2nd. But 11 in the 3rd, 12 in the 4th, 11 in the 5th. And a roller, that's fair, back of the bag. Laurie has no play and a base hit for Zobrist.
There's a start for the Rays. I'll tell you what, not only that, efficient on the mound, but Jay Happ had quietly retired 11 in a row until that base hit there by Ben Zobrist. He's able to keep it just inside the bag at third, and no play for Laurie. In fact, fortunate that he was able to barehand that ball. That ended up extra bases. Interesting decision by the Blue Jay third baseman.
Catch salmon out of the stream. Sean Rodriguez takes a pitch for a ball.
He's another one.
Yes, he
Talking
is.
about Kawasaki full of energy. Brett Laurie's the same way. Tell you what, when those guys were playing together, you had the most fidgety left side of the infield in baseball.
Yep. And in that same way, we miss having Rajah Davis in the lineup.
In left field.
Yeah. Sean Rodriguez ahead in the count. 3-0.
Well, this is what the Rays need if they want to climb back in this ball game. You're not going to be able to do it all at once, down by 6 runs. You need base runners. They've got one. Could be on the verge of getting another.
That's a strike. And another base runner on the walk. First 2 men on base here in the 6th inning. The first walk surrendered by Happ.
And this is what you wonder. You know, Jay Happ, he's been very efficient and quick with his innings. Rays pitching has not, and he's had to sit back-to-back innings for an awful long time. Comes right out here and then is in immediate trouble.
Well, 2 men on with nobody out, and Will Myers about to step in with Longoria behind him. So if the Rays are to mount any kind of comeback, they would be poised to do that right now. There's a pitch outside to Myers.
You knew it was a matter of time right here. Pitching coach Pete Walker coming to the mound as Dustin McGowan loosens.
Happ having a little difficulty with his command right now. So they talk it over on the mound. The new season of The Ultimate Fighter is powerful, relentless, epic, and it's just getting started. Catch the show's critics say, deliver the goods, and see why they call Ronda Rousey and Miesha Tate the new best rivalry in sports. Get hooked on the show everyone is talking about, The Ultimate Fighter, all new Wednesday only on Fox Sports 1. To find Fox Sports 1 on your provider, go to foxsports1.com now. John Gibbons looking on. 1-0 the count on Myers. One and one. 30-year-old left-hander Jay Happ. Myers with men in scoring position. 3-14. And behind in the count, 1-2.
A nice slider there by Happ. You know, he got Will Myers to swing over one of those earlier in the ball game before finally succumbing to a base hit. Actually, an RBI hit by Myers. And that is a high quality breaking ball right there.
2-2.
One pitch we have not seen a lot from Happ that you would have figured with this Rays lineup and all the right-handers that were in it, 7 to start the ball game, counting, Zobrist the switch hitter, but has not thrown the changeup that much, and that's a big pitch for him to the right-handed hitter. He has stayed with the curveball, few sliders.
Pop up right side. Foul ball, and Langerhans makes the catch. Yeah, and here frequently, or recently, it has been the second most used pitch by him.
Yeah, and you wonder, is it game plan specific? Did he not have a feel for it coming out of the bullpen? Or, is the arm angle playing tricks with that? You just don't know. But the one thing that you do know, you look at his pitch breakouts, and that's a pitch that he prefers, his second most used pitch to the right-handed hitter, and he is, well, it's been few and far between this afternoon.
Here's Evan Longoria with 2 men on, 1 out. It's the first time the Rays have had base runners since the second inning. Ground ball, shortstop. Reyes to go over the first. 6-4-3 on the double play. So Happ gets out of that, throwing the ground ball. And the Blue Jays turn it into 2. Bottom of the 6th coming up. 7-1 Toronto.
Two outs, no one on. The shift is on, but Josh Hamilton still able to reach out and get to second base with a double. Mike Trout due up next. They need a base runner to make this interesting, and they got it. Ball 4. Joe Nathan against Howie Kendrick. Swing and a miss. 43rd save of the year for Nathan. The Rangers seem to be pouring it on at the right time. A half game back of the Rays and Tribe. 7-4 the final. Let's get you back out to Toronto and rejoin Dwayne Stats and Brian Anderson.
Greg, thank you very much. And so Texas now in with 90 wins. Just a half game back of the Indians and the Rays. And the Rays are down 7-1. Bottom of the 6th inning in Toronto. Jose Sierra leading off here. Rays have a new pitcher. Their 5th of the day. Cesar Ramos making his 48th appearance.
Cesar Ramos and whoever's going to follow him, they're going to have to come up big for the Rays if they want to get back into this game. You're running out of time. You're running out of outs. You're down by 6. Can ill afford to let any more Blue Jays cross home plate.
Sierra missed that one.
I'll tell you, Sierra's had a number of pitches today, and for a guy, he's been swinging a bat very well here in the month of September. But he has had a number of pitches to drive and has just fouled them off, swung through them.
And he takes this one. Strike 3 call. One gone in the bottom of the 6th inning. Once again, let's check in now with Todd Callis.
When you saw the updated standings, there is still the possibility of a 3-way tie for the wild card at the end of the day tomorrow. In that scenario, with the 3-team aggregate record, Cleveland had the first choice, and they selected to be the home team for the first game. They would host the Rays 4 o'clock on Monday. Winner of that game would be the first wild card team. Loser of that game would play game 2 in Texas. The winner of that would be wild card 2. So there is the potential that the Rays would go either back home tomorrow at the end of the day to Cleveland or to Texas, depending on how things play out. If you remember that last regular season game the Rays played against the Rangers, they lost that game, lost the head-to-head series against Texas, and also ended up second in the 3-way tie with Cleveland and Texas. So Tampa Bay will wake up tomorrow, even if they're going after.
Well, all of that still a possibility. There has never been a 3-team tie in the major leagues. Never a 3-team tiebreaker occurring in the history of the major leagues. That looms as a possibility.
And you can understand why the Indians would pick, number one, you'd want those 2 games to guarantee you one chance to get into that wild card game. And the Rays picking second would take the 2 road games. And Texas is left with, you got one and done. It'll be at home, but it's a one and done scenario where the other 2 teams, you lose that Monday game. Okay, that's fine, but you got a chance to pick it up on Tuesday. Interesting scenario. And it's, what didn't seem like it was that much of a possibility a couple of days ago, and it is becoming more so as we move along.
This one is down. Well, we indeed are moving even further into uncharted ground, with the 3-way tiebreaker becoming a necessity, at least the potential for that. Not there yet.
Closing fast.
And a cut and a miss. Yeah, if the Rays are going to avoid that, it's going to have to be a hard move to the starboard side.
And they've got their work cut out for them with 3 chances to go. And as you can see from that shot right there, delivering that ball to home plate, you're starting to see some shadows get involved. The bank of lights starting to come into the field of play. That's never easy to deal with.
Ryan Goins out in front, strike 1. He hit the home run. A 2-run shot in the 5th inning. A couple of 2-run home runs struck by the Blue Jays in the 5th. He hit one, and Kevin Pillar hit the other one. Here's the blast by the Blue Jays second baseman back in the 5th. 1 run off Archer today, 2 off Torres, 3 off Wright, Jamie Wright, and 1 off Brandon Gomes. One ball, 2 strikes. That's a strike at the knees. Ramos strikes out the side. We're through 6. We'll be back after a word from your local Fox stations. Delman Young leads off the 7th inning for the Rays. Fastball from Jay Happ is a strike. The Rays have 1 run, 4 hits off Happ. The run came in the first. Young, 2 ground ball outs against the left-hander. Happ gave up an infield hit to Zobrist in the 6th, then walked Rodriguez. But he got Myers on a pop foul and got a double play ball from Longoria. And he's ahead of Young to open the 7th inning.
Been very impressed with Jay Happ today. Boy, he's done a nice job of moving that fastball, and he's kept it in that 92 to 94 range, and still with the arm angle creates a nice downward angle to the hitter. And he's elevated some pitches when he's wanted to. He's taken some off with the curveball, thrown a few good sliders. Has stayed away from the changeup for the most part, but the couple he's thrown have been very good. He just kept this Rays lineup off balance.
Ground ball back to the mound. And Young is the first out in the 7th. Now it's time for the Just for Men Auto Stop Foolproof Stat. We examine Joe Maddon's record, 8th season as the manager of the Rays, 2-time American League Manager of the Year, AL champs in 08, and seeking the 4th postseason berth in the last 6 seasons. And this one going right down to the wire among 3 teams.
You know, when you talk about managers, head coaches putting their players in a position to succeed, Joe Maddon is one of those who does it maybe better than anybody. Every situation in a ball game well thought out. He knows right where he wants certain pitchers on certain hitters, his own guys off the bench, who they want to face, pinch runners.
Yeah, he does that as well as anyone, better than most. He takes all the information that's available and spends his time trying to figure out what you can do to put your particular pitcher or hitter, player in general, in a position to win.
Right down to his defense. You know, we've seen the shift. We've seen the shift change during the course of an at-bat in a certain count.
Yep. 2-2. He has taken what I thought Whitey Herzog used to do with the Cardinals almost instinctively. He's taken that light years ahead with the information available and made great use of it. Ground ball, Reyes across to the first baseman Langerhans. 2 gone in the 7th inning. And Whitey managed the Cardinals. I'm not sure at that time anyone was better than Whitey Herzog at doing that, matching up players to situations. And Joe Maddon has taken that to another level.
Well, you've got to know your guys inside and out. You've got to know the makeup of your team. You know, he creates that culture within the clubhouse where guys can come in, have fun, play relaxed. He seems to get the most out of just about everybody's ability that comes through the Rays organization, whether that be a guy like James Loney here who had struggled, you know, with the Dodgers and the Red Sox. He comes to the Rays. Joe doesn't try to change his swing at all, says, listen, you do what you're comfortable with. You want to use the whole field, use the whole field. And Loney's responded in a huge way, offensively as well as playing great defense.
He's batting with the bases empty and 2 outs in the 7th inning, which means it's getting late for the Rays' hopes.
And you're running out of outs, and Happ has settled in nicely. You know, those first couple of innings, the Rays hit some balls hard off of him. Didn't have a whole lot to show for it. And then once the 3rd inning rolled around, in fact, the 3rd inning were 3 hard hit balls deep into left field. After that, it's been some soft contact, and he has really done a nice job this afternoon.
2-0 taken the other way toward the line, but Pilar, still moving, is there to make the catch. And the Rays are retired in order. Bottom of the 7th coming up. 7-1 Toronto. The all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado. And by Fox Sports 1. To find your channel, go to foxsports1.com. From Rogers Center in Toronto on to the bottom of the 7th inning. Ryan Langerhans facing the Rays lefty Cesar Ramos. First pitch misses. Langerhans has been on 3 times with a walk, a bunt single, and a base hit to right. There's a stolen base and 2 runs scored. It's a strike.
Cesar Ramos has come in and done quite the job here for the Rays, picking up 3 strikeouts in the bottom of the 6th. Sharp here to start off the 7th. Good slider, and he's exactly what the Rays need at this time.
13 strikeouts by Rays pitching today. Down to first, and a pickup by Loney, nicely done on a hard hit ball. 1 gone. Let's go around Rogers Center and take a look at the Fox Sports 1 fan cam. Brought to you by Fox Sports 1. Available on all TV providers. Go to foxsports1.com to find out what channel. Josh Tolley, the catcher up here. Ground ball toward the middle. Zobrist with the pickup. 2 outs in the 7th.
Some nifty defensive plays here for the Rays in the 7th. A shot to Loney. We talked about his defense. Ben Zobrist, another guy. You know, he is Mr. Versatility. Joe Madden can play him anywhere, but the majority of time this year he has been at second base, and the more that he's been there, the more comfortable he's gotten. And I'll tell you what, as good as he was anyway, he just continues to get better and better.
Yeah, he's good in right. He's good at second. He's very good at shortstop. Pick a spot, he'll play it and play it well.
How about the fact that it was last week he comes to the ballpark, an hour before the game he finds out he's starting in left field and makes 2 outfield assists in that game, where Joe Madden said after the game, we won the game tonight because of Ben Zobrist's defense in left field.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Just his 2nd start there this year.
A ball, no strikes to Pilar. The hitter in the shade, and the pitcher still in the sunlight.
Well, and these are the bank of lights. You know, it's not a solid, shadow, so that ball's going in and out of shadows as it's coming to the plate. You're seeing light shine on it. I mean, it's so quick, and 90-mile-an-hour fastball, you're talking about 0.4 of a second. And that's got to be an odd look for a hitter.
Outside, 2-1.
I think I'd rather be the guy throwing it.
I think you're right. Better odds. You can squint all you want. Not going to help a lot.
Yeah, and if the pitcher's squinting, then you start to put doubt in that hitter's mind that he's not real comfortable and he's staring in, can't find the plate.
Good cut to miss. 2-2. Rays scored in the 1st. The Blue Jays scored in the 3rd. Continued to score down the middle of this game. A 2-run 4th and a 4-run 5th. We're in the 7th. And strike 3 call, the 1-2-3 inning for the 2nd straight frame for Ramos. 7-1 as we go to the 8th, Toronto. Jay Happ back to the mound, the 8th inning. Desmond Jennings in the batter's box. Rays calling upon Jennings to hit for Molina. Rays are down 7-1.
Well,
1-1 the count.
You're running out of time, and you got a pitcher out of the mound oozing confidence. You need to start chipping away right here if you have any hope.
He's given up only 2 hits since he surrendered a run on 2 hits in the first, and he's ahead of Jennings 1-2. We're reminded that the Rays on this date 2 years ago were down 7-0 after 7 innings. And technically finished that game on the 29th.
That was an incredible night, not only in St. Petersburg at Tropicana Field, but all around baseball.
Yep.
Unbelievable day. In fact, a lot of people say that's the greatest regular season day in baseball history, and it'd be hard to argue with.
You could not have scripted a more dramatic timeline, that's for sure. Count still 1-2 on Jennings. Happ has walked only 1. He gave up the first inning run when Myers singled home Zobrist. He had a stretch of 11 in a row, retired. It's a foul ball straight back, out of play. Came out in the 6th inning, and Zobrist reached on a base hit, then a walk to Rodriguez, and the Rays thought they might have something going, but Happ got Myers on a pop foul and got Longoria on a double play ball.
Man,
that was that.
The heart of the order, a lot of power there for the Rays. And
ground ball to third. Lori's throw in time at first. 1 out in the 8th. And Jennings grounds out. Let's take a look at the Fox Sports 1 pitcher comparison, brought to you by Fox Sports 1, available on all TV providers. Go to foxsports1.com to find out what channel. Chris Archer 2 1/3 and battled his command.
Yeah, manager Joe Madden had the quick hook with Chris Archer, just didn't see that command improving during his outing. Went to the bullpen early, and Jay Happ, who was a little wobbly early, has really righted the ship and has been tremendous for most of the day.
Another pinch hitter, Tim Beckham, 2 of 6 since coming up from Durham. Beckham hits for Sam Fold. The pitch is too low. Rays have had base runners in only 3 innings. That's how good Happ has been today. Goes a strike. It's 1-1. In the 2nd inning, the Rays had Loney reach on a high pop-up on the infield that fell for a double. Third on a pass ball and was stranded there. See Happ up to 110 pitches. Tapper, first base line, going to be foul.
Figure that this would be Happ's last inning because of that pitch count. All of a sudden you bring into play the Blue Jay bullpen and it gets even tougher. Maybe not today. Happ's been awfully good. Got some good arms coming out of that pen.
Luke the lefty and McGowan the right-hander. They're ready if needed. The pitch stayed wide. Tried to break it over.
Yeah, he did, and Jay Happ thought he got it. He started to do the turn as he was waiting for the ball to be thrown around, only to realize Chad Fairchild had not given the green light to that pitch being a strike.
Lifted into short left. Pilar on the run. He could not grab it. Had it, couldn't hold it, couldn't corral it. And Beckham has a pinch hit base hit. Great effort in left field by the Blue Jays.
I think that's going to end the night or the afternoon for Happ. You see Pilar. Great effort. That ball looked like it was for sure going to drop in, but he closed quickly. Was not able to come up with it.
John Gibbons makes the walk to the mound to change pitchers. The road to Boston to help Red Sox closer Koji Uehara celebrate the team's postseason berth by transforming Boston into High Five City. Uehara walked the streets around Fenway Park, giving fans his best high fives. Go to MLBFanCave.com in the coming days to watch the entire video. Jay Happ could have put on an instruction video with his performance today. Very good. 113 pitches for the left-hander. Aaron Loop, the new pitcher. Vin Zobrist from the right side takes a strike.
Aaron Loop on for the 64th time, 68 2/3 innings, and you can see the tough arm angle from the lefty, sidearm.
Lifted into left. Pilar toward the line, angling back, and makes the catch. That's the second out.
Well, Jay Happ gave up a couple hard hit balls early in the ball game, and then that would be it. And he really ends his season on a high note, elevating the fastball there against Evan Longoria, driving it downhill with good angle. You see the curveball had a lot of depth today. He threw some good sliders. But overall, he worked everything. You can see manager John Gibbons right there, letting him know how good of a job he did in wrapping up what was a very trying season.
Sean Rodriguez takes the pitch for a ball. Well, this performance certainly an uplifting note for the Blue Jays as they look ahead toward next year and try to put together a rotation to have this kind of performance from Jay Happ.
Well, they have to feel good about it. Jay Happ has to feel good about it. I mean, he really was impressive. The velocity was good. You know, that arm angle, you talk about the command. He had the one walk, but that was after those, you know, he had a couple of innings where he sat for a long time. Not always easy to crank it back up and be right back on point. But for the most part, he was able to do that.
Ground ball left side, diving stop, Laurie, and he gets rid of the throw to second for the force. And what a play by Laurie at third base. He gets Beckham on the force to retire the Rays in the 8th inning. Outstanding play there by Laurie. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. And by the makers of One-A-Day Men's, the official multivitamin of MLB. Cesar Ramos back to open his 3rd inning of work in relief, facing the top of the batting order, Jose Reyes. Reyes lifts a fly ball right field. Myers toward the line, 1 away. 7 in a row retired by Ramos in relief. Jose Lobaton in behind the plate. Beckham goes in to play second base after pinch hitting. And Ben Zobrist, of course, goes out to play center field.
Why wouldn't he?
He can play anywhere. Brett Laurie, the hitter. First pitch is a strike.
And the key to that is working at it. And that's something that Ben Zobrist, a tremendous work ethic, the holder of many, many gloves. He will move around anywhere. And he has said, you know, going from the infield to the outfield, a much easier transition than coming in. Obviously, that ball right on top of you, positioning is important. Positioning is important anyway. But in the infield, not a lot of margin for error. Those balls come off the bat hot. You got to be able to make the play.
Ground ball headed toward the middle. Beckham, nice pickup, and the throw, got it. Well, Laurie, who turned in a very good play to get Beckham, force him at second on the ball hit by Rodriguez, has Beckham turn in a very good play on Laurie.
And Brett Laurie just missed that ball coming down on second base, which undoubtedly would have turned into a hit. Just misses it. Beckham on the shortstop side. Well, that's as close as you can get. What a play.
2 outs. Here's Kawasaki. One and 0. 7-1 ball game. It has been that way since the 5th. Kawasaki toward the line and left. Rodriguez over there, but he's going to come up a little short. 1-1. Fox Sports supports, is proud to partner with Johns Hopkins Medicine. Johns Hopkins is at the forefront of groundbreaking research into autoimmune disorders like multiple sclerosis and lupus. Join us in the fight against autoimmune disease. Donate by visiting hopkinsmedicine.org/box. 1-2 to Kawasaki now. 5 pitchers for Tampa Bay, 2 for Toronto. On a day in which Rays pitching has allowed 7 runs and 12 hits, they've notched 14 strikeouts. 2-2.
Where was Kawasaki headed there? Got the slider breaking down and away, and he's jerking out of there up the first baseline.
Out on strikes. Strikeout number 15. Ball game heads into the 9th. 7-1 Toronto. And the Rays will have Will Myers to lead off. Dustin McGowan is the new pitcher. So Luke worked 2/3. And the first pitch here in the 9th inning. A fastball mid-90s for a strike.
Another member of this Blue Jay ball club injured this year, missed out on some time, only 24 games so far, but going to strike out an inning.
A 1-1 count.
Through 2 pitches, you've already seen the good stuff. The fastball in the mid-90s, that slider in the upper 80s.
Upstairs, Will Myers, a prime Rookie of the Year candidate, drove in a run back in the first, and that's the extent of the run scoring for the Rays as they bat here in the 9th. 2-2.
Well, just challenging him there with 94 right out over the plate. Will Myers swings through it. John Gibbons has got to be thrilled with the energy that his team has shown, how hard they've played these last 2 ball games.
And the count is full on Myers. Jay Happ pitched 7 1/3, gave up 1 run. That came in the first, allowing just 5 hits. Luke 2/3 of an inning, and now it's McGowan. Shot hit back into center field. Goes on the run. He'll dive and not get to it. It will hop over the wall for a leadoff double here in the 9th by Myers.
Well, Myers didn't quite get all of that. If he did, that would have been a no-doubter. That ball moving towards the end of the bat, but he got enough of it to elude Anthony Gose. See right there, puts a charge into it. Gose had to run a long way and sells out to try to get it. Look how much ground he had to cover. Couldn't quite do it.
21st double of the year for Myers. And the hitter is Evan Longoria. Ball 1. Rangers have beaten the Angels 7-4 today. It's on the corner. 1-1.
Even Longoria asking Chad Fairchild, are you sure? This was close. Looked to be a little bit off out there. Close enough.
And he goes right back out there.
Yeah, that
strike
was,
2.
That was a no-doubter. That was paint right down the outside corner. 96 miles an hour. Look at him just drive this ball to its spot. Boom.
Two and 2. Delman Young on deck. Longoria sends it the other way. All the way to the warning track, and that ball caught out there. Tag at second. Myers will go to third. Longoria hit the ball a long way, and Sierra turned around. Eventually made the catch.
Yeah, he's angling himself away from that sun, trying to get a better look at it, even with the glasses on. And this ball hit well by Longoria. Good ride out to right field. You see Sierra had been drifting that way a little crooked the whole way. Makes the catch for out number 1.
Hillman Young. Pitch away. Hillman 0 for 3. Facing McGowan now. And you can see lifetime 1 of 11 against the hard throwing right-hander. 1-1. Ground ball to short. Reyes takes it to first. The run scores to make it 7-2. Time for the King play of the game, brought to you by Burger King, where taste is king. A 4-run fifth, 2 home runs. Ryan Goins a 2-run home run in the 5th inning, going 2nd of the year, and then Kevin Pillar belted a 2-run home run. That opened it up, made it 7-1. It's now 7-2. And here's Yanel Escobar. Bounds it up the right side for a strike. Rays scored a run in the 1st. They have a run in the 9th, and in between, the Blue Jays scored 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, and 4 in the 5th. On the outside corner, strike 2 to Escobar. Blue Jays right-hander. This is up with the fastball, up and away.
You see how far off the plate Josh Thole was setting. He's trying to see how far Yanel Escobar was willing to go with the swing, trying to get him to chase.
2-2. Rays down to their final out. An out away from falling out of a share of the top wild card spot. Cleveland right now 90-70. Texas 90-71. The Rays 1 out away from being 90-71. And there it is. Escobar called out on strikes. And this game is over. The Toronto Blue Jays have beaten the Rays 7-2. So the Rays share the 2nd spot in the wild card spot. For Brian Anderson and Todd Callis, Dwayne Statz, we take you now to the MLB Network studios.